Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Hey, welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. There's a coat hook by the door in a lot of houses. Nothing remarkable about it. A simple place to hang a jacket, a hat, a set of keys maybe. Most of the time, nobody gives it a second thought. It's just there, doing what coat hooks do. But every now and then, a coat hook becomes something more. It becomes attached to a person. I was thinking about that very recently. You know the things we've been going over this week, and it's very similar to those. How strange it is that certain objects can become so closely connected to someone that seeing the object immediately brings the person to mind. Not because the object is valuable, because the person is. A favorite coffee mug, a recliner, a pair of reading glasses, a spot at the table, that empty chair, a coat hook by the door. The object itself isn't what matters. What matters is how many ordinary days became attached to it. That's something I've been thinking about all week long. The recipe card, the familiar road, the voice on the answering machine, the bench at the park. On the surface, those episodes were about different things. But underneath, they've all been asking the same question. What stays? What remains after the years move on? The answer isn't always what we expect. When we're younger, we tend to think that life is shaped by major events, the big moments, the milestones, the things that everyone notices. But as I've gotten older, I've started to suspect that life is built from something else entirely. Repetition, presence, ordinary days. A person hanging their coat in the same place for years. A familiar voice saying hello. A recipe made every holiday. A road traveled hundreds of times. These things seem small while they're happening. Then, one day, we realize they've become part of us. I think that's because relationships are rarely built in dramatic moments. They're built in accumulated moments. Thousands of small interactions, thousands of shared experiences, thousands of ordinary days that quietly weave people into our lives. And that's why certain absences can feel so noticeable. It's not the grand moments that we miss first. It's those familiar ones. The thing we expected to see, the voice that we expected to hear, the presence we expected to feel. Not because we're dwelling on the past, but because the person became part of the rhythm of our lives. Take away a drum from a song and you notice it. Take away a familiar voice from a room and you definitely notice it. Take away a coat from the hook where it always hung and you'll notice it too. Not dramatically, just enough to remind you that somebody mattered. The older I get, which is a theme this week too, the more comforting I find that thought. We spend so much time wondering whether our lives make a difference, whether people even notice, whether our presence matters. We spend way too much time worrying about that. And I think it matters more than we realize. Most of us will never change the world in some grand historical sense, but that's never been the only way to matter. We shape families, we shape friendships, we shape communities, we shape each other, and we do it quietly, consistently, over time. And often we don't see the impact because we're living inside of it. Makes you kind of blind to it. That's why I love the theme that we've explored this week. I know there's been a lot of what maybe felt like repetition, but I thought that this week was important. We talk about the things that stay, not the things that we own, and not the things we achieve, the things we leave behind in one another. The stories, the habits, the memories, and the laughter and the kindness. The little pieces of ourselves that continue traveling through the lives of others. Maybe that's the real legacy that most of us leave. Not monuments, not headlines, not recognition. Just traces. Good traces. The kind that makes someone smile years later when they hear a familiar phrase, find an old recipe card, travel a familiar road, hear a familiar voice, or glance toward a coat hook by the door. And if that's true, then maybe we should never underestimate the value of simply showing up, of being present, of being kind, of sharing ordinary days with the people that we love. Because in the end, those ordinary days may be the very things that stay. And honestly, guys, that's a pretty beautiful way to leave a mark on the world, don't you think? Something for us all to think about. I love you all very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out there and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.
Fears